What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video from the Demon Overlord. And today, guys, we're going to be doing one about blasters. That's right, dart blasters, or Nerf blasters, whatever you'd rather go with. I prefer dart wars because, dart blasters because, you know, I don't really only see Nerf being the only option. I don't fall for the whole, it's Nerf or nothing. Now, today I got myself a lovely little dual pack. That's right, I was on Amazon shopping around and happened to notice it was on sale too, $5 cheaper, so 20 bucks, so 10 bucks a blaster. So that's the price I paid for these, but let's see what we got. So first up here, we got this little bad boy. Now, as far as I can really assume, it doesn't have a name. I've looked for this in the Dart Wars thing. It's just called the Dart Wars rifle. I mean, if we even look at the pamphlet it came with, a little like instruction though, it's literally just called the Rifle Blaster. Comes with a tactical scope, release button, trigger, pump handle, and then it comes with a nozzle. None of those are removable except for the tactical scope. Very simplistically, it is a very nice blaster. And then the second blaster it did come with, which is the Havoc Blaster. Now, I know none of these blasters are probably the newest blaster, but they looked pretty interesting. I thought, why not? So first, we're going to start with the Rifle Blaster. Now, very simplistic pump. Easy to deprime, so you don't have to dry fire it. Trigger release is right here. Drops right down. Is a single breech fire right down here. You just load your dart in, and then you just flick it right up. And I love that right there. That part I just love. The fact that you can just simply go and flick it so easily and it locks so beautifully is really nice. Now, it does come with a little scope here. Let me just put it on for fun. Would I ever recommend using it? Not really necessary. I mean, look how like it's not fitting good under your shoulder. I'm a big guy. I ain't gonna use such a tiny stock. Like there's just no way like to get your eye down there with this stock against you is ridiculous. Now, it does come with an awesome little feature here built into the stock, though, is this little handle holders. So, or I would actually, sorry, extra dart holding. So total, you can have one in the barrel, ready to go. 4 back here. You get 5 lovely darts total. So it's technically got like a 5 dart capacity if you want to go with the fact you consider the extra storage as part of its inventory load. The handle feels really good. It's actually really solid. You hold the handle, it doesn't really make much shaking noise. It doesn't feel that flimsy. You do feel a little bit of movement here where the brake is, but what do you expect from a brake blaster? It is very easy, though, and very sensitive. Just a little light touch. She's down. Now, technically, you could also fire this, which, while it's open and primed. I have done this for both its chronographing. It does actually increase the FPS a bit. It does slightly lower the distance, but not much. The only downside is, with the prime being on there, you got to actually have this closed to prime it. Or do you? Yeah. Unfortunately, once you break this open, the prime does lock up. I didn't test that till now, but pretty cool blaster. I mean, it's really simple. So if you wanted to give this to a kid for them to have like that whole rifle experience, like aiming down and blasting off rounds. Now this thing actually will fire. Now I actually have done a ranging of the best it will fire to the lowest it will fire. Like, you know, what is it going to fire at regular lengths? So standard, you're getting around like 60 to 65 feet with this, surprisingly. And that's the best. I'm not going to go with any of the less because why not? I want to talk about the best you get with it. And you up a little bit, you can get to the nice 80. So I think the highest FP or the highest distance I got was an 85. And I'm rounding it up because it was like an 80, it was like 84.7, so I just rounded to 85. But, you know, it's not too bad for a simple little blaster like this. I did chronograph it as well. Now, I did do all my chronographing without my camera on, so I did not get that as footage, and I'm not going to redo it because I just don't have the time. But so chronograph, this thing wasn't performing the best as far as I expect from Dart Zone, but it wasn't the worst either. This thing was hitting around 70 to 75. Occasionally 76, rare enough, 77. So what does that tell me? This thing is shooting the elite par, and not too bad at it. It was pretty consistent. Sometimes you might dip under into 69, but that's when I think it was kind of hitting incorrectly through the chronograph, so that might have been more my error than it was exactly this thing's. But that's not too bad and this thing does have potential. I mean, you could easily, if you ever wanted to, you could just like cut off the stock, like remove that off there and just do something else. Or maybe if you wanted to like increase the stock size. I mean, or if you just want to somehow find a way to get this primer down here and maybe turn this into a bigger pistol, whatever you want. I mean, it's very simple and very small. Like this is easy for one-hand operation to just simply lift and fire. Personally, scope, I probably won't use it. I still love how I can flick up. Sorry, hold on. I love that. It's such a nice flick up. That part's really cool. You can just flick up so easy. Now, it doesn't necessarily have any sling points on it. As you can see, there's not really anything. You might have, if you get one of those really big, oops, hit the primer. If you get one of those really big clips, you could put a clip back here and hang probably by the back side, which isn't bad. There's no really up front to clip it onto. The barrel is very simplistic. It's not there is no end strike barrel lugs on here or any attachments. It does say nozzle, but really this nozzle is probably not detachable. I mean, if it is, you probably have to unscrew it here. But you know what? Maybe if you really wanted to, I would say there is a screw here that looks like it's holding on this nozzle. You could just take that flat off since the whole barrel's orange anyway. Probably wouldn't even affect it. It probably might even make it a little more accurate because it's just more extra plastic, which is unnecessary for a barrel. Now, it does technically come with a rail right here. This is the, I want to say the false rail. This came with like those Covert Ops blasters. So they're not really official like Picatinny rails. Could you put a Picatinny item on there? Yeah, you could, but am I going to say, like, am I going to really want a scope on here? As short as this thing is for a big guy like me, no. No scope necessary. But you could put a flashlight on there. That'd be kind of cool, little mini flashlight to click on and off if you're going in the dark with a small little guy. Because, I mean, the advantage of being this small, though, get those quick little round things. Now, there is one little trick I will bring up at the end of the video that both these can do that I threw in there as a trial thing, and I was actually surprised. So, that is the Dart Zone Covert Ops. Sorry, it is the Covert Ops dart rifle. So, pretty cool. I mean, like I said, FPS, you can get up to the range of 80 to 85. You actually kind of, do a little bit of the arc. Straight on, you're getting maybe 60, maybe 65 at the high end. And your FPS on this thing, 75, 76, 77 at the high end, all the way down to 69. Not bad. So, I mean, that's not too bad. It's in the elite range for sure. And for, I guess you could say $10 since it was a $20 box. That was this. You get a little scope. You want to, say, put that tiny scope on your Spectrum, you could. They're probably cross-compatible. They are the same size for their attachments. Or if you just want to get Picatinny attached, just say heck with that stuff. Now, what else do you get in the box? You do get a lovely little box here full of, I want to say 24, but sorry, it's 18 Adventure Force darts, which, as we know, are the good darts. Elite darts you can pretty much throw out the window. Now, let's actually fire this blaster just for some fun in different ways and show it off. So, standard. Feels pretty good. Prime it first, just because to do the next step, or to do what I like to call the open or broken barrel fire, which you can do with this thing, which is pretty sweet. So if someone ever caught you in mid-prime, you could just, I always recommend priming this thing before you load it, but that's just me. So, and it actually fires a lot better without this barrel. So if you had a way to cut down this barrel, like honestly, if you just slice this barrel shorter to maybe try to improve it, that might make it better. I mean, I'm tempted to take apart this end here and see if I can just pull this nozzle off, which is not necessary. I don't need the iron sights to see where I'm doing. I have that skill where I can just shoot the hip and just be done with it. But not bad. So I mean, as you can see, it does fire stiffer. Now, here's another question though that I thought of when I was looking at him for a second. I just thought, why not give it a shot? You know what I mean? Why not while I'm already having the chrono out, I'm doing the shots? Can it fire half darts? Now, we know a lot of times these blasters don't like to shoot half darts. However, if we take 2 half darts and basically make a full length of dart in it, this usually, I've not had it jammed yet on me. Hopefully it does not during this. You also are now double firing, so you kind of get a shotgun shot out of this. That's actually pretty sweet. You can fire 2 half lengths. They also actually flew pretty straight from where I was aiming. They did spread a little bit, so you get a little bit of a spreadage, but that's actually awesome. Now, you can shoot a single out, but it gets really high likely to jam. 79% of the time, it will, I'm rounding percentages off too, just for more accuracy. So maybe, 2/3 of the time you fire a single half length, it's going to jam. So far, whenever I've double loaded half lengths in here, no problems. They fired fine. And they actually get pretty far. I've actually gotten them at half lengths when they're fired out of this thing. The farthest they got, and I'm going with the farthest of the 2 that are fired, of course. We got lovely and surprisingly good 65 feet at the farthest one. And that was like a little bit of an angle to it because I knew this, I was afraid it was going to when I fired it. And I didn't feel like refiring it. I was like, okay, cool. That was pretty interesting. We got that good of a distance. Now, the other one only went as far as 50. So it still gets some good power behind it. So whatever's going on here is pretty well built. I mean, this, of course, does make it open for moddability. You can easily, like I said, cut the stock off, turn this into a super long blaster if you want those, lengthy style long shot pistols with a pump for some reason. I just love how it's a rifle, but it's a pump rifle. It's so unusual. It's so different. But yeah, so far, like I said, we've already got 18 darts, which is more than enough to fire this twice and still have enough for the next blaster. And the next blaster is not a new blaster, but it's a good blaster. The Havoc. Now, my Havoc, as you can see here, before you say it, yes, I did actually already modify the Havoc logo. Now, the great thing is, unlike Nerf, still not able to get this right, they did do stuff on both sides for decoration. Now, I mean, this is a very green blaster. Not only is it fresh out of the box type thing, but, you know, very green. I've only been firing it a few times, or a few clips worth, just to make sure everything functioned properly. Barrel is simple. There's no attachments. There is no Picatinny rail, false or not. Kind of a shame there, but, you know, this is basically just a remake of the older Havoc, and now it's the Covert Ops line. That's why it's with its dart rifle companion here for the Covert Ops. And I have seen these things before. There are green ones before. They had different colors, too. I think they even had a blue one as well. So, you know, this isn't a brand new blaster. It's just a remake of an older classic. Now, it does have side prime, which is pretty cool. The slap up, slap down you can do. Like, that's pretty cool. Easy to deprime, too. You just hold on to that and let it go. That way you're not slapping it forward and breaking the spring. And it does come with these lovely clips. Now, this is not a magazine. It is a clip. So, when I say clip, I'm not getting it wrong. Because we all know that's like one thing that Nerfers apparently despise when people say it correctly. It does have an arrow on the top one here. You'll see a little arrow on two sides of it, one going up and then one going over. That's how you know you're doing it right. Slides in beautifully. And you can always cycle through really fast. I mean, simply slide out. Really fast. I mean, you can get a lot of clips through there really quick with this. Now, these clips do only come in 8s, and you do actually get not 1, but you get 2 of these awesome clips. 2 of these bad boys ready to go, so you can start slinging some foam, which is really impressive. I love what comes with 2. Now, as you could probably guess, it will fire a regular dart just fine. So far, I did try it with all the Elite, the Adventure Force, Pro darts, all that kind of good stuff. Pro darts and waffle darts were the best. They were getting the most accuracy as well. I will say as well, the rifle here, accuracy is about like that big of a circle. A little bit, that's a pretty big one. I mean, as you can see for me, that's like my shoulder width, so not too bad. But for this one, we got a really concentrated circle. This one was getting a circle probably around like this far. That's not too bad. That's pretty like in the middle of the chest. If you're aiming for someone's chest, take them out. So, I mean, like, this thing does what it's supposed to do, and it does it efficiently. Now, the chronographing, which I will tell you in a second here while I'm loading, because I just load carefully because I'm just cautious. I don't want to move my darts. These are the good darts, you know, waffles. Throw those crappy Elites out the window. Sorry, Nerf, get over it. But it does come with nice waffle darts automatically, which is always good. And, you know, very simplistic load in. I love that slap. You know, slap it, which is what's cool. Now, it will slap down if you do that. You'll prime will drop, but never drops up. I can't flick it up, which is kind of a shame. You do this little door here. That's to help hold the clip and stuff, as well as, like, you can aim through the back of the clip and through that to see, and it's just, that's just weird. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to do, but this is weird. I don't know why this door is even here. But you do have, like, some iron sights on top for the first 1 or 2 shots, so you'll actually be able to look through it. I really don't. I just kind of, you know, predict. Now, how quick can I fire out these with this awesome prime? There we go. Oh, we had 1 misfire. But that was actually on my fault. I realized when I pulled part way, my hand messed up. So as you can see, though, you can get those out pretty quick, which is awesome. And this is a great secondary. Could you use it as a primary? Well, if you're in tight quarters type nerfing, yeah, you could use it as a primary in that situation. Just want to do that. I don't know why. But pretty cool. Now, with my Havoc, like I said, I did actually already kind of custom the decal and the letters there. This I actually used an old miniatures painting trick when you're doing metallic effect. Guys, sometimes it's really easy to take the metallic Sharpie markers, those kind of like painting markers, and just do that. I did a couple layers of that on top, and this Havoc looks really cool. I like the bronze with the green here. It looks really sweet. Now, is this thing going to hit the most chronograph ever? Well, the highest one from this was a 97. That's the highest dart I've gotten out of this thing. That's very impressive for, like, your standard darts. Like, we're talking just standard darts. Like, just simple waffles getting 97 out of a blaster that is not new, probably the same as its original incarnation, but now it's the Covert Ops style, and now it comes in a lovely double pack. So you're telling me for $10, I get a sweet secondary with a lovely clip attachment right there. Now the handle also, guys, you'll notice with them, a lot of these Covert Ops, they have these like Z triggers. Got like this little trigger here with a Z on it. I've noticed a lot of the Covert Options have it. The Spectrum has it. I don't know if the Villainator has. I haven't yet looked at a Villainator check, but a lot of these type of Covert Ops blasters have them. For certain ones, like obviously this one doesn't. It has just a little, like I call it a little switch flat. This one. Now that was probably because based on the handle's design, though, it probably could not handle the Z blaster, the Covert Ops Z. Now another little trick. This will also fire half-length darts. Now, however, it can fire singles in the clip or doubles. I do recommend double loading it so you're shooting 2 darts at once. Why? Because A, you have a high chance, once again, for jams. It's not as high, though, with this one. It can get away with it, but you'll still get jams, and nothing's worse than having to put it back through again. We're going to go with 4 double loads from it and see what happens. Now, you're not getting as far of a distance with these because it was not meant to. Okay, just want to make sure I got them all out. Now, it's not going to shoot as far with these doubles, but if you wanted to kind of give a clip of double-loaded half darts in there, or you're in a half dart situation, still work. And if you're up close to you need the secondary and give it a quick little, and start flinging some foam down range, keep them back, and take out some zombies, or take out a character who snuck up on you, one of those sneaky boys, those ninja guys they like to call themselves, because they're just like think they're so sneaky. This thing will do the job. It's going to keep it pretty backed up, pretty safe. Which makes it cool. Like, I gotta say, the Havoc alone makes this $20 purchase to get not just one, but these 2 pretty useful blasters that have potential. If you wanted to modify them, you could. Mess with this guy's spring of his plunger tube in there and make it a little beefier. Maybe, I don't know, you wanted to change the prime. I don't know why. Maybe put a bigger handle on it. The handle on there is a little bit small. But, I mean, for quickness, I like the quickness feel of it. And it works pretty sweet. The old dart rifle, very simplistic. I love the click up of it. That part that I love so much. If the trigger on this is really nice. Now this I definitely recommend you probably open up, put a beefier spring in there to really increase that buffer power, and you could probably make this thing even nastier. Like I said, you can still, and the great thing is with both of these blasters, I still say the Havoc is the better one, but that dart rifle has potential, has great modability potential. I still love how Dart Zone still writes on there, you know, do not modify blaster, but let's be honest. We all do, or we all want to. I don't do heavy mods, but I mean, small mods are easy enough. A quick little spray change or something like that. Now, would I recommend this set for you to buy off Amazon or something like that? Yeah, I totally would. I mean, for the 20 bucks, I mean, when I got it was 20. It's probably back to being 25 bucks now because it's probably the $5 sale probably ended. But you're getting a cool Havoc with the Covert Ops on it, and it's a very trusty secondary blaster with it being able to sit off any like quick strap or something like that with a little click on the back. You're good to go. Or you can click it onto a belt loop. Good to go. And I mean, simple. It's simple, but it's a good tried and true blaster. Now, this thing's range for FPS, I actually did only mention its best. Its best was a 97. Otherwise, it fired actually around like the high 80s to the 97. So like anywhere in that range was where it was usually sticking around. And that's pretty good. Even when I get a crap fire where I know I mess up and prime all the way and still hit it, I was still getting them around a 75. And then one that was a 65. But like I said, I screwed those ones up, and I know I did, because I was going too quick with my prime so fast that I was messing myself up. But this is just such a good blaster. I gotta say, I really am sad that it only took me this long to get my hands on a Havoc. But, like I said, I get 2 clips for it, so I got 2 sets of clips. Maybe they make some extendable clips out there for this thing. I don't know. I might have to look into that, because if I get like a 16 clip on here, that'd be super awesome. Double its capacity and then really make it beefy. But I mean, at that point, would it still be good enough to be a secondary? Yeah, it would. Just be really cool. Cool thing is, with these 2 different clips, like I said, you can always have one that has the standard darts, one full of half-length doubles. So you can always surprise someone, get them a little shotgun load, which is always cool. Can you multi with anything more than that? No, you can't, unfortunately. But it's just cool enough as is. Now, would I recommend this? Yes, I do, guys. I definitely give this at least a 4 out of 5, at least. 4 out of 5 is 4.5, at least. Or at the actual average. 5 might be a little generous. I mean, these could always be better. I wish they'd had a little bit more improvement from the blast, the rifle there. The rifle, in my opinion, could have used some more love. And it would have been definitely more improved. But you got a really good blaster, a nice backup blaster if you want to go reverse and use this as your primary, because this is unique. Unlike most blasters that are always whipping out a magazine, you got clips. You can still buy the clips. They're still available. And they come with, I believe, like 40 darts with the clips as well. So not bad. I mean, I always personally recommend just go and buy like the big old 300 dart packs from Amazon. Or if you want, go to Walmart and buy the big 200 boxes. If you're looking for good waffle darts, because those are really the only full-length dart you really should be using at this rate, because they're just worth it. Or the new Adventure Force Accuracy or Pro darts. Those are also good too. Well, anyway, guys, if you got this far in the video, I thank you very much. Now, on top of that as well, if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so, guys. Nerf blast that like button and make sure you fire some darts at it. Help get it past that YouTube algorithm. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, throw them in down below, guys. I'll answer any questions. Maybe just laugh at some comments or whatever. And if any concerns, I'll let you know whether you should be worried or not. Only got like one concern. But, Anyway, guys, have a great one. I'll see you next time, and bye-bye.